but Niners.
This is Kyle Juszczyk, and you're listening to Nothing But Niners.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, sweeps to his right, gets to the 20. He's in the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks the third tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst breaking tackle after tackle, sweeps down the sideline. Throws off bodies like clothes after a marathon.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's good. Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers!
It is second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell intercepted. The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption. Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown. No greater redemption.
San Francisco 49ers, we can do whatever we want.
Click, click, boom! What's going on, faithfuls? It's your boys, Mike and Tony. We are here to bring you guys another fun-filled episode, guys. It is nothing but Niners time, baby. And man, Tony, it's been years, and that intro still gets me pretty hyped. I can still see all of those plays. Do you remember when I was first putting that together? All the other clips that we had in there. Do you remember all the extra? We had the meeting back in July. We came to oh man, it was like you hear Eddie talking to the team and. Yep. Walsh. Oh man, it was so good, man. Anyway, let me run through some formalities really quick, and then we're going to go ahead and get this thing going here. You guys are going to watch some instructions scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know exactly when we are going live. All right, give us a follow on some of our social media platforms. We have Snapchat and X. Those handles are nothing but 9ERS. That's number 9. Nothing but 9ERS. We also have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Those handles are nothing but Niners that are spelled all the way out. And then last but certainly not least, we have the Patreon, guys. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. I have a very special show coming to you guys later this week before the draft. Early day before the draft. It's going to be a very busy week, man. Tony, we got a lot going on. So, let's just go ahead and get into it because, wow. What does the rest of your week look like? Where are you trying to find time? Are you creating hours? Did we get that magical wand that we all need where we can just put either more of ourselves into a day or create more time? How are you getting through these next couple of days, man?
I'm just trying my best. I'm off today. I'm off tomorrow, but I'm on call for overtime tomorrow night. So that pretty much ruins everything. And then Wednesday I got to work. Wednesday night into Thursday, and then Thursday's draft day. And it's like I don't know. My air conditioner I have to get fixed. Oh my God. It's so hard, man. It's so hard when you have kids and all this shit juggling.
Did they confirm what was wrong? They came out and looked at it?
Tomorrow they're coming out.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, man. It's going to be a rough week. Let me see. Tomorrow I have a doctor's appointment early in the morning. Then I have to swing by this florist to pick up some flowers and then go to a funeral. I have to stop by the office, race back home, and then I have a couple of teams meetings to conduct. And then after that, I have bowling. I might be doing a show with Wayne at 4 if he's available. He might not be available, though, because the Celtics are in the playoffs. Then Wednesday, I have an appointment to get my hair done. I have a barber appointment that day also. Yeah, it's looking a little rough, so I got to get this all touched up. And then Thursday is the day of the draft. Now, that's the day that I plan on doing a special video on Patreon. And it is not 49ers related, but it is some bonus content I used to bring to the guys over on Patreon. So I'm going to be back there again. Patreon.com, guys, /NB9ERS. All right, so let's go ahead and start talking, man, because
Excuse me, bitch.
There's this report out right now that said a lot of nothing. It was an actual post by this guy named Mike Silver. So I think we should start there. The 49ers offseason program begins tomorrow. So it is like the eve of that. So, Tony, what does that mean? What is this offseason program? Because there's no players. Like, coaches could report. The staff can report, right? But what does that mean?
The players could report. I think it's phase one where they come in, they come for the workouts. It's mostly like weight room. It's like on the field stuff, like conditioning stuff. I don't think
so.
it's
It says phase one consists of the first 2 weeks of the program with activities limited to meetings, strength and conditioning, and physical rehabilitation only. Is that what tomorrow is?
pretty much, yeah. Unless it's OTAs. If it's OTAs, then they're going to be, they'll be working on the field.
Is this intentional? Here, look. Let me show you.
I don't think it's intentional. I think it's their program.
So right here, all right, according to the league rules, teams with returning head coaches, we qualify, can begin their programs on April 21st, making the first step, and then making it the first step in a structured 3-phase program, blah, 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 blah. So phase one is here, and this is what begins tomorrow. Consists of the first 2 weeks of the program with activities limited to meetings, strength and conditioning, and physical rehabilitation only. I think this is intentional. I think this is actually really good because now we get to look at some guys coming in from their offseason. Oh, shit. I thought this guy was going to be good. We might need to draft his replacement. Just me? I'm the only one thinking that? No way.
I don't think, because there's no on-the-field activity. I mean, what are we looking at? How he lifts or where he is physically?
Yeah. Listen,
I don't think that's much. I mean, I think if you said they were on the field, then that's a different story. I mean, lifting and conditioning, you still have plenty of time to get into shape. I mean, we're talking, April? They don't start hitting the field in pads until August, late July, early August. You have like 3 months.
You don't think they have expectations for how the guy should look this time of year? Honestly. And maybe they don't. I'm asking your opinion.
I don't think it's I don't think it's to the point where it's mandated to come to report in top shape, where there's testing actually going on. I think what this is they open up the facility for players to come in and work out there, as well as treatments and all that stuff. Where before this, I don't think they were allowed to conduct. I'm just fixing my sock. I don't think they were allowed to work in a structured setting as far as a team planned workout, as like, weight training and conditioning on the field by their strength and conditioning coach and have treatment at the same time. So that's where I think the difference is, where they're allowing them to come in. I don't think there's mandates to say, okay, you need to report with X amount body fat and you have to run in X amount of time or under. I don't think it's that. I think it's just, okay, we're starting our off-season program. Here's the workouts for the day. You do your workouts. You need treatment. Here's your treatment. You're done for the day. Meetings out.
All right, that's fair. I like that. I guess it would be a good idea to get some eyes on guys, right? Like, Tony, there's a player, and I know, I won't say any names, but you believe, and some others are starting to say it too now, that if he's not in tip-top condition and shape, he may not play, right? Mm-hmm. So wouldn't you want him to stop by and take a look and see how he's looking and how he's feeling?
I don't even think he shows up.
It's interesting you say that because
it's not mandatory, right? You can't.
Of course not.
You can't get to the point where you can't expect someone to come when it's not mandatory. And past practice, that individual works out in his facilities closer to home. So,
But so does this guy. And look, Rob D's comment is Bosa's in the Bay.
Okay, well, he chose to be. I don't know. I don't know. He chose to.
I agree with you that it's not mandatory. But this is, I think this is a gut check season, Tony. I really, really do, man. I think that they are, they want to talk to the team captains. I think that they need to evaluate and figure out what the plan is. Like, are Niner fans prepared for this to be a tank season, like with this easy schedule? I don't think they are. Are your expectations postseason for this year? As of right now, before the draft, as of right now.
I mean, it would be hard to say yes because of the condition of the defensive line. I mean, I don't think they could stop anybody right now in the run versus the run. So it would be tough to say yes if they're able to add a couple pieces because clearly they didn't do much in free agency in the front seven at least. So if they're able to add pieces in the draft, I think that could change my mind a little bit. But as of right now, due to the lack of adding any type of defensive tackle or defensive end, I can't say that. But I do think it's favorable. It's a favorable setup for them because of the schedule. So, am I willing to say yes? No, but is it favorable? Yes, because of the schedule. That's where I'm at with that, as far as their playoff hopes now.
Okay. All right. I mean, I guess we will have to see how it goes. I would just like them to, do something. And if that's the case, if they indeed have not, if they indeed have no expectations of anything, then I don't know how you're going to motivate a guy like Trent to come in and play. He's not here to waste a season. He's not here to play BS. And not for nothing, we're going to get one of the better versions of Christian McCaffrey. Have you ever gone back and looked at how he performs the following year after an injury?
I think they're bounced back.
That man goes crazy the following season. And so he's not here to waste time. He is going to be all business out there, and we know that. I think they should be pulling in whatever captains from last year are there, or whatever players they deem as leaders, right? I think they want to see that. And I wouldn't be mad at it either. We got a super chat here from my man Sean. I need a teams meeting. He's throwing shots at me, y'all. He says, you think we get Scatterbo or too slow? I thought about Scatterbo for a while, and here's what I settled on. They re-signed Juice, no Scatterbo. Or Scatterboo. Or Bo. I thought it was Bo. But what do you think, Tony?
I would take a shot on him. I would definitely take a shot on him. That man single-handedly carried that team all through last year. I like the way he's wired. He's a competitor. He's a football player, and sometimes you got to overlook certain things, meaning speed and stuff like that. That man single-handedly put that team on his back and literally carried that team. And I like that. He's a football player. I think John Lynch likes that. The question is, will Bobby Turner like that? The lack of speed or certain things that he looks for in a running back. But yeah, I mean, I would take him. I like him. I kind of hope they do get him because he's that change of pace I think they've been lacking, especially at the goal line. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The guy does not go down on first contact. He loves contact. He's hard to deny. I just like how he plays.
I would get him as a fullback, though. It's kind of what I'm saying. Like that's how I feel, right? Like I would bring him in here to be the Juice replacement, because then we actually have a fullback that we can hand it off to on those goal line situations with a running back behind him and catch people off guard, and a guy that's capable of breaking tackles or plowing forward. Juice isn't that for some reason. He's got to be the only fullback I have ever seen get the handoffs for the 1-2 yard gains and get nothing. He gets stonewalled, right? But Juice is a great route runner, great pass catcher, and I think Scatterbo can do some of those things. I don't think he has the route running ability that Kyle Juszczyk has, and he probably doesn't have the consistency with the hands that that Juice has, but that doesn't mean that he can't eventually get there, I guess is my point.
Yeah, sure. I mean, but if you're drafting him, he's not playing fullback with Juice, so he's going to have to get on the field as a running back. That's why I'd say I would use him as a, change of pace dude. Like just like some people say, you go speed with change of pace, smaller, shiftier guys. I think they would go bigger because they have speed in Garendo. They have Christian McCaffrey. What they're lacking is that big physical presence that'll just run downhill and take whoever he can and make multiple players have to bring him down to the ground. That's where I'm at now. As a future replacement, sure, we can talk about that when the time comes, but this team is in no position to draft a guy and have him sit and develop behind somebody. They need guys that could help this team now, this season, like on the field, contributing, maybe not starters, but they have key roles in whatever they need to fill, whatever roles they need to fill. So that's why I like the kid. I like the way he plays. That's just me.
So I guess if we were to go out and get a guy like that, you're talking about the 3 different types of backs we would have. It would be kind of like, what team was it? That Giants team. They had Ward, was it Jacobs, and who was the other? They had 3 of them. Oh man, what were the 3 backs that the Giants had that year?
Oh, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah. Like, so you're saying build something like that?
I mean, sure they could, but I mean, I don't think Kyle don't do that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Kyle's not going to have that what the Giants did. Kyle does his own thing. Bobby Turner, I think, controls the rotations at the running back spot. So it's pretty much on Bobby Turner to come up with a rotation and how what he expects in the rotation for certain designs, certain play calls for certain talent, for certain players' talent. So he's got to match. It's Christian McCaffrey's the back. So if something were to happen, if you missed a game, then it's up to Bobby Turner to reorg and go the second route. But they have to. I think they need to save Christian McCaffrey, especially with the extension that they gave him a little bit, and try to get him through a full season with no injuries. I think they need to start implementing a slight rotation. Not to the way that the Giants did, though, but, come out in a 2 tight end set and just run downhill with Scatabo. Or you come out and run a toss to Garendo and try to get the edge. There's ways that you could do it.
It was Brandon Jacobs, Derek Ward, and Ahmad Bradshaw. That's who it was. Now, hear me out, and I'm trying to tie this all together, right? If they were to go that way, and I know you said Kyle doesn't typically do that, but maybe this isn't the worst year for that, right? We need some offensive linemen. We need some defensive linemen. So what if we just did a ground and pound type of game plan all season long? That's how you would protect your defensive line, right? Keep those guys fresh because we don't know who we're going to end up having. So whoever we do end up having is probably going to have a lot of inexperience or anything like that, right? We go out there and we get this guy. We put him in the mix with Garendo and McCaffrey, right? And then we have our own version of that, and we just run the ball down teams' throats. You're worried about your offensive linemen standing around doing nothing? They're not standing around doing nothing if they're running the ball a lot and efficiently, right? And then you're minimizing what Brock Purdy's mistakes could or could not be. You're forcing him to execute on the plays that are going to be the safe plays, right? You should be in 3rd and short all the time if you're going to run the ball the way that they would if they were to get a guy like Scatabo. So maybe that should be the game plan, right? If you implement that, you're hiding the weaknesses of the defense because you're not putting them on the field as much. You're hiding the weaknesses of the offensive line, and you may even be hiding some of the weaknesses with the receiving core because we don't know how they're going to look this year. You got a rookie coming back, and you got Juwan Jennings, and then a question mark everywhere else as far as receivers go. Maybe that is the game plan. Would you be opposed to something like that? I know Kyle hasn't done that traditionally, but we have seen Kyle have a good 1-2 punch when he was in Atlanta, and he ran those boys left, right, and center, passes to him and everything, and he had the big guy down the field in Julio Jones. I mean, it's possible, no?
Could be, but again, you're comparing this, and when I say comparing this to the Giants, that team were built as a power run team. This offensive line is not built to be a power run team. Their philosophy isn't the power run game. They're a zone team. So that's 2 different philosophies. So what I'm trying to say is if you want to implement sometimes like a gap scheme instead of a zone scheme, that's where you can go like inside if you decide to take Scatabo, if you decide to go with Garendo, you could try to use that. Christian McCaffrey is going to be majority like your outside inside zone guy. But this offensive line isn't made to be a power run game line. They're not big. They're not physical. I mean, they're physical, but they're not bigger in stature. They're not 325 pass plus 330-pound guards inside. They're not playing with a 325-pound center. So the push from the interior would be the issue. So with the Giants, they had a bigger offensive line that year, off the top of my head. And then you hand the ball off to a 245-pound on paper running back. I think he was more than that, but a 245-pound running back and just ran the ball down their throats. Two different styles. Niners don't do that. The Giants did. That's why they were able to go bang, 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 and then toss it outside to a speed guy and totally catch the defenses off guard. With that type of philosophy, you could do that. I just don't think San Francisco is built to do that. Do I think they will do a more run, go back to the traditional Kyle Shanahan West Coast philosophy offense? Run, play action pass, bang. The run sets up, the play action pass game. Yeah, I could see that 100% because I think it makes it better. It makes it easier for Purdy with the younger wide receivers to get open because of the run game. But I don't think they will do the three-headed monster with power run game and try to get him on the outside with the speed guys.
All right, let's get to whatever. I'm just gonna read this set of tweets or X's or posts. I don't know what it's called anymore, but from Mike Silver, and I want you to tell me what you think it all means. All right, so here we go. Oh, I should have changed the background first. Boom. All right. Sean, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. And I haven't forgotten about you. I will let you know when my schedule opens up. But right now it's a little hectic. It'll probably be sometime after the draft. All right. Is that nice and centered in the screen there?
Yeah.
All right. Mike Silver. Some reporting for The Athletic. The 49ers' off-season program begins tomorrow, and there's some uncertainty about whether players seeking new contracts, specifically Purdy, Kittle, and Warner, will show up for voluntary activities. Now, one, this is already setting up for the, see, I told you. Well, never mind. Let me just go ahead and read it, and then I'll come back to it. Two, there's been some progress toward a multi-year extension for Purdy that will likely pay him more than $50 million a year. The question is, how much progress? If Purdy shows up on Tuesday, it's a sign that he and his agent believe they are very close to striking a deal. If he doesn't, that probably indicates that there are some significant obstacles remain. As of now, no decision has been made. 3, Warner and the 49ers have yet to have any substantive talks about a possible extension, but the veteran team leader is likely to report. Kittle, heading into the final year of his 5-year, $75 million deal, is much more of a long shot, as he and the 49ers remain far apart in discussions about a new deal. 3 posts. What does it mean, Tony?
It's playing both sides. That's what I see.
He's playing both sides, and he's. You ever set up a fire pit and get like some coals at the bottom of it, right? Like I've seen people take charcoals and put them at the bottom of a fire pit, right? And then they get like their cardboard or some rolled up newspapers and they throw the lighter fluid in there, right? And then they get their dry logs and put it in there. And it's like, well, what was the purpose of the coals? Well, the coals give you much bigger, longer burning embers for your fire pit. And so it keeps it going for a longer time, right? You said when we broke down what this, what tomorrow means, and one of the first things you said was, yeah, well, Mike, it's voluntary. Most of the time, the guys don't show up for these things. Should we expect Brock Purdy to be there? Should we expect George Kittle or even Fred Warner to be there? Honestly, forget contract negotiations for a second. Should we expect those guys to be there for this phase? Like, would you, under normal conditions, expect them to be there?
I mean, would you like your leaders there, people that wear the C's on their chest for a captain's logo? I mean, yeah, you would like it. You would like it to set a precedence, like, to the younger guys, to the mid roster guys are fighting to make this roster. You want to send the right message, right? But I mean, do they have to be there? No, not necessarily. Not no, they don't. There's nothing in there that says it's mandatory. They have to report. They don't. And the whole thing between the two contracts that they can't get between Kittle and Warner, I think once they settle the structure of Purdy's, I think those two will fall in place.
I think that if and when one of these guys don't show up, it's going to be the "see, I told you, here comes the drama," and I don't think it means that at all. I don't. I think that if these guys were all under contract, it still wouldn't mean anything whether they showed up or not. They all are under contract, so I shouldn't have said it that way. I think that if they weren't negotiating, it still wouldn't have mattered. I just don't think that that's what it means. I don't think whether or not they show up tomorrow means anything in the grand scheme of things. Has Purdy shown up in the past for these? Absolutely. He was a rookie. Then it was his, all right, let me learn the system because I'm going to be the starter. Oh, wait, I'm injured, so I'm only throwing towels, right? And then there was last year. Did Purdy show up for phase 1 last year? I believe he did.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, okay. Now, does that mean he's going to show up now? He should. He absolutely should, in my opinion. If you were Brock Purdy, regardless of where you are in your contract negotiations, Tony, would you show up? Or do you think your agent would advise you to show up?
I would show up on my own. I wouldn't need my agent to tell me what to do. Me personally, I would show up because you got to understand something. All this is just workouts. You're making your body better. It has nothing to do with on the field performance as far as we're throwing passes, anything like that. You're going in, you're getting stronger, you're getting faster, you're getting better condition, and you're getting top-notch treatment to go with it. So that's where I'm at with that. I don't see an issue in reporting. And to be honest with you, Kittle and Purdy have been working out in Tennessee together. So I think the both of them show up because, like I said, it's only workouts. That's all it is. It's only workouts. Trent, we know the way Trent rolls. Trent doesn't show up to this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't expect him there.
Speaking of workouts, I don't know if we discussed it, but I saw some clips that Ricky Pearsall was working out, catching passes. Who was he catching passes from, Tony?
I think Brock too. It was him, the two young kids, Cowing and Pearsall. Sorry, they were catching passes from Purdy, but I don't know when that was from because there was a video circulating that Purdy was at tight end U with Kittle, throwing with them. Unless they were all there, I don't know.
Interesting. I thought, because didn't we see like Mac Jones working out with somebody?
I don't
No?
I don't know. I didn't see Mac Jones throwing. Oh wait, did I see Mac Jones throwing? I don't remember.
Well, I know in the clip that went out, it was not Mac Jones. It was definitely Purdy throwing passes. Here, I'll show the clip actually. I will share the clip. Give me 1 second. Let me share that screen.
Jesus Christ, bro. What are they doing?
Are you watching basketball?
Detroit is absolutely physically murdering the Knicks, and they're not getting any calls. Holy Christ.
What's the score?
The Knicks are down by 7 or 8. 8, I think. 8.
Here's the video. Take a look at this. It's definitely Purdy. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah, that's Brock.
It's just some. Is that Cowing?
Yeah, I think that was Cowing.
Is Cowing that ripped? I mean, I knew he was like a short, compact guy. Okay.
Yeah, I think that is Cowing.
All right. So But you're saying that you don't know when that was from, correct?
Yeah, I don't know when it was from. That I don't know. I seen that video, and then I also seen the video with Kittle and him. Kittle and actually, I think what the kid that they signed in free agency, Farrell, was with Kittle and Birdie at tight end U.
Gotcha. That it was actually a pretty quiet year for tight end. I forgot that happened already this year. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that's something. That's something. By the way, Niner Cali Boy says it's on Ricky's YouTube. I'm gonna say something, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate. Actually, no, I won't. No one watches our show anymore. But does it bother you, Tony, that like all these content creators just rip videos from players and just post it as their own, but they put hat tip to whoever they got it from? Like, why not like quote tweet it and say something? You know what I'm saying? Like, let the original post do its thing. Because now, for the people who thought they should go out and watch Ricky's vlog, they don't have to. They could just sign in on someone else's page and just watch it there. I think that's weird. I don't know that I like that content creators do that. And so, I don't know. I think that's why I'm not good at social media. I don't like stealing the people's content, even if I'm giving them credit for sharing it and all that. I think that's weird to me. I am very much a quote tweeter and letting the original shit just float the way it is. You know what I mean? But listen, man, you talked about the defensive tackle position earlier. You were saying that we can't stop the run. Let's turn our attention to the draft. All right. We've got 3 picks in the top 100 or 4?
4.
We've got 4 picks in the top 100, right? How many of those picks do you think are devoted to the defensive line? I won't just say defensive tackle, but how many of those picks do you think are devoted to the defensive line, specifically inside the top 100?
Oh,
I know. I'm putting you on the spot here.
Definitely 2. Definitely 2. I could see maybe 3, but I would say definitely 2.
I love you. You could see 3, but definitely 2. We've got picks number 11, 43, 75, and exactly 100.
I think the first 3 picks are going to be defense. I think it could be a combo of end tackle linebacker, end tackles corner. It could be end tackle. I think they are so decimated inside. I don't know. I don't know, man. It all depends. It's hard to like say because you don't know how it's gonna fall, right? Because if it falls favorable for them to load up on a defensive line as far as like a defensive end and 2 stout defensive tackles, and they can do that with their first 3 picks because that's the way the draft board fell. I'm all for it because now you're set. Your front 4 is going to be set. And then, like the rest of your draft, so your 8 other picks, you could build and add depth to other spots. You could even double down a defensive end, triple down a defensive tackle, linebacker, corner, all that stuff. So it all depends on how that board falls and what it looks like when it's their time to make that pick on the clock.
All right. So let's talk about some defensive tackles the Niners should be targeting in that top 100. Now, again, I'm going specifically defensive tackles. All right. If you could have any defensive tackle that is available in this draft, let's just say that no DT has been taken off the board at 11. Who is the one guy that you have to get, Tony? Is it Mason Graham? Is it Kenneth Grant? I mean, or is it someone else? Maybe you like Alfred Collins. Maybe you like Shamar Turner.
No, not at 11. No way. I would say it would come down to be just defensive tackles. I would say it would come down between Nolan and Graham and Nolan. I think those would be the 2 that they're focusing on at 11 if they were available. And then it comes up to them. I mean, I think Graham – people say, like, listen to certain people, oh, he doesn't look good, blah, 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 blah. You know, he's not a football body. The kid's a ball player, bro. The kid splits double teams like a hot knife through butter. Like, He's a damn good football player. Does he look like an Adonis? No, but he's a football player, and he makes plays. He's got a very high motor. I would say, I would lean towards Graham just a little bit, and Nolan is like right behind him. In my opinion, I would go Graham, Nolan, Harmon as your top three.
That's very interesting. And the reason I'm saying that is interesting is because there were some people who were saying that Nolan lacks a certain amount of physicality.
Well, all three, if you look at it, all three of them have their issues. It's what's correctable. Okay. Graham, does he have does he have a football body? Does he have a defensive tackle body? No, he doesn't. But he knows how to play the game, and he plays at a high level. Nolan, is he 100% on every play? Is he the strongest? Is he the quickest? No. But you see him stand on a film, and he does make plays on the field. Is it as consistent as you would like? Maybe not. But you see him flash with his talent. Now, if you look at Harmon, is Harmon perfect? No. Harmon is a really good pass rusher. Does he struggle a little bit against the run? Yeah, I think he does struggle a little bit against the run. But at the end of the day, they all do something well. It's how you can take what they do well and take it higher to the next level in coaching, right? They all have the get off. They all have the explosion off the snap. They all have that quick twitch. But I think, if you're talking about quick twitches, I think the quick twitch would favor Nolan and followed by Graham, then Harmon, in my opinion. As far as run stuffing, I think Graham would be your top, followed by Nolan and Harmon. Pass rushing, I would put. I think Harmon's a really good pass rushing 3 technique. He's a bigger 3 technique too as well. So he's like a 6'3", 320, 330 pound defensive tackle, but he moves pretty good for that size. So that's good. But I'm still not at the defensive tackles yet, but I'm gonna get to and try to finish this shit up, hopefully soon. But I mean, I think all 3 of them are good. I think what?
I was gonna say I got an unpopular take, and maybe it's my Ohio State bias, but I like Talik Williams more than I like Nolan. Walter Nolan, and maybe it's because I want a bigger defensive tackle, so he's 334. Talik Williams versus Walter Nolan, who is 296. So that maybe I'm looking for like the stature. Like I want that run stuff. I'm looking to fix our issues right away. Not saying that you should take Williams at 11. I'm just saying that I like him more than Nolan. What say you?
I like Talik Williams. I'm not at 11. I think that's way too high for Talik Williams. What I think they need to get back to their traditional way of playing football. When they won the Super Bowl, you need a quick twitch, and then you need a big, powerful run stopper. You need to have that perfect combination where they feed off each other and play off of each other. You can't have 2 big monstrosities because none of them will have quick twitch to get off the line and get into the backfield and try to beat a snap or beat a gap. And then you can't have 2 undersized guy with quick twitch that don't have the weight to stop the run. We saw what happened with that. So I think they need that perfect match between run stuffer and quick twitch pass rusher who could stop the run. A 330-pound guy paired up with a 300-pound guy, and they have to play off each other. Seattle played that with the cover with their when they were good with the Legion of Boom with that defensive front. They had a big physical guy with more of a quick twitch guy next to him. Then they had in San Francisco, we had that. Even after the Stubblefield and Bryant Young years, you had that pairing up front where there was a run stuffer and pass rusher. That's what you need. You can't have 2 of the same or 2 different types. The Niners got away with running with 2 massive defensive tackles, meaning height, for the past couple of years, actually in the beginning of Saleh's tenure here and the Shanahan tenure. But I think they decided to go away from that, and they made the right choice by going away from that and go more traditional space eater pass rusher and pairing them up in the middle.
Do you remember DJ Jones' size off the top of your head?
If he was 6'1", 325 pounds, maybe.
I think Joshua Farmer from Florida State. I'm moved on to day 2 now. I've moved on to day 2. By the way, before I finish saying this, MDS says none of the DTs are worth the pick at 11. None of them will have a big impact on the game. Do you agree with that?
The first round is a tough round to evaluate. Here's the problem. I think there's 3, maybe 4 top of the line players where they're blue chippers and they're tier 1 guys. Then you have a bunch of tier 2 guys that are all in flux. The problem is, unless somebody wants a quarterback, you're not moving your pick for nothing. So you're going to have to take somebody. Now, do you take a left tackle to sit him for a year? They can't afford to do that. Because like I said in previous shows, if the season started tomorrow, they can field the starting 5 for an offensive line and be fine. If Trent Williams is back. That's a big if. If Trent Williams is committed to play in 2025, they can field the front starting 5, no issues. Now, if Trent Williams is gone, it's a different story. If that's being held from us so they can get their tackle, and then once it's done, similar to the Staley retirement and the Trent Williams addition, that's a different story. We're not privy to that information, so we're just shooting from the hip, and we're just going in with our thoughts. So I don't think this team's in any position to draft a tackle and say, especially, I mean, like Simmons, I think, is the best tackle in this draft, but his injuries, I think, are an issue. That's a major.
Wait, did you see the news today on Simmons?
Yeah, allegedly his medicals came back good and it's good, but that's not playing football.
They came back great, not good. Like they're saying he's clear and he'll be ready week 1.
I want to see him play the game, working out, running, and passing a physical. Sure, that's great. But when you got to put all your weight and anchor and actually be physical and engaging a lineman, I want to see if that leg could hold up. Because running with your underwear on and doing agility drills, great, excellent.
But you're not, Tony. You're not going to get that chance before the draft. You have to make that decision before. You can't just say, "Oh, I got to see him play." Like so, that means that he goes undrafted.
Personally, I wouldn't touch it. That's just me. That type of injury is a career killer for an offensive lineman. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. You saw a center retire. McGlinchey's having issues with it. He's never been the same since he's had that issue. Drake Jackson is not – they're talking about Drake Jackson's career is over, but they won't come out and fully say it. They're still going to give him an opportunity to come back. I can't invest the number 11 pick overall in a player. Yes, he might be the best offensive tackle, but you don't know how that knee is going to respond under duress. When I say duress, engaging an defensive lineman and anchoring and trying to stop him from pushing you back. It's very scary. I think it's very scary for a team that has a massive amount of holes on that defensive line. I would go the smart route. I would build your defensive line. I would build that defense up with young talent. So Saleh, Bradley, they can all put it together and build and create a defense to become, hopefully, knock on wood, a top 10 to 5, top 5 to 10 defense eventually down the road. But to invest in one player at 11, to have that hesitant thought in your head, is this knee going to give out on him? I don't know. I just don't know. And as far as getting back to the comment of none of the defensive tackles at 11, that's fine. You want to do that? Then you start looking at a more premium position. A defensive end like Mikael Williams, if he's there. A lot of people love Shamar Stewart because he's a workout warrior. Sure. Do you want to go that route? I wouldn't. I would stay clear. But you have to come away with a player at 11 because I don't see the 49ers saying, okay, we'll take a 4th round pick to move back 4 spots or 3 spots or 6 spots. Especially if a team wants a quarterback. And there's rumors saying that Denver is looking to move up for somebody. I don't know who it is, maybe the running back. I don't know. But it has to be smart it has to be smart decision to make as a part of the plan to rebuild this roster.
Okay. All right. I hear you. I don't know that I would go with too many DTs at 11 overall. There are some. I think it would have to be one of the Notre Dame guys, though, if I'm being honest with you. But that's only if they're still there. Huh?
At 11?
I didn't mean Notre Dame. I meant Michigan. I apologize. I'm sorry. I meant
You
Michigan.
take Grant at 11?
If he's there,
He's definitely going to be there.
I like him. I like Grant. I actually, I think I like Grant more than Graham.
Okay.
I think
there's a reason why he's projected to go in the top 5 and Grant's not. So that's all I'm going to say.
But I'm not. So that depends on fit, right? I told you what I'm looking for. I want the big 300+ pound guy, right? So Grant's 6'4" at 331, right? He's the run stuffing guy. He is the guy that is gonna eat up some gaps. He's got the speed. He's got strength. He's got athleticism. He plays strong when he wants to. That's the thing, right? So I think we can come in here and I think we can get him motivated. And I think he's going to be one of those guys, Grant, I'm talking about, that takes the next step in his career in college, from college, right? I think he's going to be better than what he showed. This guy is an elite run defender. And I think that's what we need if we were to go DT at 11. That guy right now, you're not running the ball in any gap that he's in. It's not going to happen. And that's what our biggest concern is right now, in my opinion. Am I wrong?
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a scenario. I'd rather go Mikael Williams at 11, hopefully take Talik Williams at 43 if he's there, and then double down with CJ West out of Indiana and build that defensive line. Because you have a penetrator and you have a run stuffer and you have a defensive end.
I wish I knew what other teams were thinking. I would be willing to make a bet with you that Grant goes before Graham.
There's no way. Okay. No way. Dude,
okay.
People are mocking him in the second round.
I don't care. I don't. Listen to me, man. I'm just telling you what
you're saying, but we're talking about insiders mocking him to the Niners.
Insiders mock everybody to everybody.
No, I'm talking about the draft guys, like the McShays, the Kuipers, all those dudes. I listened to Tony Pauline. He's pretty knowledgeable dude when it comes to insider with the draft information. And bro, there's no way in hell Graham's not going top 5, even if he falls to the top 8. And there's no way in hell I think Grant goes before Graham. Right? I mean, that's me.
You don't think Grant goes before Graham? Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You're crazy if you think he goes before. I'm sorry.
Listen. All right. Let me explain to you my logic behind it.
Okay.
I think the biggest weakness for the 49ers right now is the defensive tackle position, specifically run stopping guys. Right? So
we know
I have zero faith in this current coaching staff's ability to develop guys. No, Blackbeard, I swear to you, I'm not playing devil's advocate. I struggle to find a defensive lineman that this coaching staff has improved. I can't. A consistent starter that this coaching staff that we have right now has improved on. Right? Someone that came to this team and got better than what they already were. I don't know a single one. Help me. Tony, if you disagree, please interject and help me. And don't. I'm not going to tell you don't do it, but
I think DJ Jones developed into a hell of a tackle for someone that was drafted in the 6th round.
That guy was gone 4 years ago.
So what does that mean? Kosaric was there.
Kosaric had him for 2 years, 3 years, right? Yeah. So okay, cool. He was a 6th round guy with no expectations.
And he developed him into a starter, into a $10 million tackle on 2 consecutive contracts.
Yeah.
developing.
All right, you found one. Cool. You found one. We have since DJ Jones acquired about 14 defensive tackles, and none of them got better. So I'll give you the DJ Jones. I'm not
think he
gonna
develop Kevin Givens.
Fuck no, absolutely not. Where was Givens? Where has he been? He just happens to keep making the roster and doing nothing for the 49ers.
Okay.
I wish that, like, I'm looked at as the contrarian, and I accept that, right? I sincerely accept it. All I'm saying is, you get Grant, he is immediate plug and play, day one run stuffer. No extra training needed. Now just let me learn your defense. That's it, right? Other guys at that position, we are going to have to make them better. And I'm telling you guys that Grant can come in right away and help this defensive line improve.
Is he a 3-down player?
Okay. If you think
yes or no?
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to answer the question. If you think that Graham is a 3-down player because of his pass rush ability, then I'm going to say yes, that Grant is a 3-down player because of his pass rush ability.
Grant is not a 3-down player. He's like you said. He's a run-stuffing defensive tackle, Mike. You said it yourself. But my thing to you is, if you look at all your successful run-stuffing, if you will, quote-unquote run-stuffers, they're not 6'4". They're guys that are 6'3", 6'2", 6'1". Why? Because they're low and they're hard to move. Dana Stubblefield, 6'2". Brian Young, 6'3". You want me to keep going?
You can keep going if you want to. I'm just hear me
Paul
out.
Ford,
Watch
6'1", 6 foot on a good day. 6'1" on a good day. All your defensive tackles that are excellent in stopping a run are smaller dudes. Why? Because they're hard to get under and move.
Grant had 3.5 sacks in 2023, 3 sacks in 2024. That's literally one less than what Graham had in the same amount of time.
Okay.
I'm just asking, what makes Graham the guy then? Like, what makes him the pass rusher? Because Graham, your guy, Mason Graham is 6'3". Kenneth Grant is 6'4".
If you watch the film, you will clearly see why one is mocked to go in the top 5 and why the other one's not. The way they play, their styles that they play, the splitting into double teams are significantly different in favor of Graham.
I like that, splitting the double team. I'll give that to Graham. I got you on that. I'm not going to argue against that at all.
There's no argument because I know it. I watched it. I've saw
yes, I'm agreeing with you. But let me ask you this question.
You're investing the 11th pick overall. You want a difference maker. You want a well-rounded defensive tackle that is a difference maker.
Man.
You want a guy that's going to demand double teams.
Y'all got Grant effed up. I'm not saying you. I said y'all as in people. Now, because
I watched a lot of film on Michigan, and there's specifically where I focused in on Mason Graham and my eye would trickle to Grant. And I saw continuously of him getting stand up. He'll engage. He'll do one of these look in the backfield, shed, and then go try to make a tackle. Is he an excellent athlete for his size?
100%. Yes.
I will give that to you all day. He's a freak at 335 pounds, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But am I willing to put the 11th pick on the line for a guy that you don't know what he can offer other than stopping the run?
Other than
him, we don't know what we're doing here. Like
he's got Bosa next to him.
I'm talking about interior, Mike. Interior.
Okay.
You need defensive tackles that know how to play off each other, right? You need a big with a smaller guy. You need a penetrator with a run stuffer. That's how you find that perfect balance inside. Why? Because the run stuffers get double teamed and the gap penetrators feed off the double team, right? So if you're 6'2", 335 pounds like Talik Williams is, he's going to be your space eater and gap. He can even be your gap penetrator because he's quick off the line of scrimmage. You pair him with a CJ West who's 6'1", 325 pounds as your space eater. He'll require a double team, and Talik Williams beats his man one-on-one. That's the perfect notion that you want, because essentially when you look at the interior blocking of an offensive line, it's 3 versus 2. Center, right guard, left guard. Who's getting comboed is the better defensive tackle, the one that's harder to move, and the one-on-one wins is one-on-one. That's what you want. Because if you have 2 space eaters at 330 pounds that can't move and they're just there because they're big and to stop the run, what is that going to do? He could be blocked with a one-on-one blocker. You need guys that require a double team. Mason Graham requires a double team. I don't think Grant right now requires a double team.
And I would hope he doesn't. And I would hope he doesn't get double teamed. I would hope that if he's getting double teamed, that means that the Niners didn't get any more help on that defensive line at all
there could be,
during this process.
And I've done several mock drafts. There's a scenario where the Niners could land Nolan and then at 43 pick up Grant because he's there.
He's not falling to 43.
Mike, I did 7 mock drafts with him there.
I don't care what the mock drafts say. Listen, okay. All right. I love it. And I'm not trying to piss you off at all. Can you tell me a better run-stopping defensive tackle in this entire draft than Grant? No.
Absolutely.
No, you can't.
Absolutely. The guy from Tony Williams is a great run stopper.
He is not the run stopper that Grant is. And I like him. I like Williams. I mentioned his name. I like him. He's not the run stopper that Grant is elite at that. He's elite. Yes. Elite? You got one of your books?
Yeah. Let's pull up the stats. Look at the tackles for a loss.
Grant, last year, 7.
Compare the defensive tackles for a loss.
You want me to pull up all of them?
Just put 2025 defensive tackle rankings, tackles per loss.
Hold on. I've never tried to look something like that up. Hold on. 2025 DT stats. No, I got to put 2024. I can't put 2025.
Yeah,
2025 doesn't exist yet. 2024 defensive tackle stats college.
Oh, wait. Actually,
all right, hold on.
Here, hold on.
College football team, all players. All right, here we go. All conference defensive players. All right, here we go. Do they have tackles for loss on here? All conferences, solo tackles, assisted tackles, total tackles, linebackers, sacks. They don't have tackles for loss on here.
I got the stats. Let me try. Here. I got them on the bottom of the book. It's got Kenneth Grant. He had 6.5. He had 32 tackles, 6.5 tackles for a loss for 28 yards, 3 sacks.
Okay, so you got 6.5. This says 7, but all right, I'm with you. Okay. All right, now tell me what Talik Williams has from Ohio State.
46 tackles.
Tackles for loss, though.
8 for a loss, 2.5 sacks. Then you have somebody with 48 tackles, 14 for a loss, 6.5 sacks.
Who's that?
Who's that?
I'm asking you.
Walter Nolan.
I fucking hate you, Tony. You're so good.
You're not going to beat me, Mike.
You're good. Look, Cali boy, I would bet Tony some wings, but he already knows the wings are on me. He already knows, man. He knows what he's in for. I saw someone asking earlier, will there be a Nothing But Niners draft show? Tony and I are going to be together. Tony and I are going to be there live in person, stuffing our face with some beautiful chicken breasts. It's going to be good, and we're going to be talking the game the whole time. Oh, Sean Livingston said Mac Jones was there too. All right. Sorry, I scrolled way up for that. Another super chat. I forgot to play the sound. I apologize. Yeah, he said, bet Tony some wings, Mike. Listen, Tony knows, man. He's getting his wings when he gets out here. Tony loves the wings from this place out here. By the way, what an incredible run by the Knicks. I don't know how this game is going to turn out, but holy smokes, man. Holy smokes. I don't know how far ahead you are than I am. Right now on my screen, they're down by 2. It's 2:20 left and counting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what an incredible run. By the way, last year, game 1, they went on a 21-0 run, also in the fourth quarter. How does Detroit continually melt down like that in the back? Take care of Tony. Sin, I will.
Coaching.
That is insane to me. That is insane. Their first bucket, they just got it in mad long. Let's go Knicks, man. Let's go Knicks. All right. I'm sorry. What were we talking about? All right. I don't want to argue about defensive tackles. I will say this. I think that the Niners couldn't go wrong with either one. But Sin asked a very pivotal question, and this is kind of why I want people to start turning their attention to Grant instead of Graham. And Sin's question was, how do you get Graham without trading up? And the truth of the matter is, based off of these mock drafts, Sin, you don't. Everyone's got him penciled in as the first DT coming off the board. Am I wrong, Tony?
Yes. No, you're right. You're right.
So you don't, Sin. It's kind of that's what it is. Now there is a possibility that he could fall. Is it impossible for two edge guys to go off the board, a tackle to go off the board, two quarterbacks to go off the board, maybe a corner or two, maybe a tight end or a wide receiver, right? Like all of those things could very much happen. And then my stupid ass could be right where they say, hey, let's get Grant instead of Graham because we need help stopping the run instead of a pass rusher. 14 tackles for loss. Did he really have that many, Tony? Are you sure that wasn't a typo?
No.
Was that career or was that just last year?
That was last year.
Jesus Christ.
Walter Nolan's a good defensive tackle. It's just they need to I mean, listen, bro, the guy was number one recruit the year he came out when he committed to Texas A&M in high school football. He was the number one recruit. He's a damn good football player. He just I think he needs to be in a strong locker room with a good culture. I think he needs a coach to ride his ass. We all know who that could be, but I mean, they just need to, if they can keep him locked in and motivated, I think he could be good. He could be a damn good defensive tackle. They just gotta, and he's still young. That's the bright side of it. They just gotta, Jesus Christ, he just hit a three, this fucking guy.
Oh, you must be ahead of me because right now they're down 2, and Brunson's got the ball. He's crossing over. He's doing a whole lot of pushing, and he dunks it. It's tie game on my end, so I don't know what 3 you see. So you must be a little.
Oh, my God. Cade Cunningham. What the? Bro, they're just letting Detroit do what the hell they want.
Oh, it's over. They're melting down. They just tied it up on my screen, so Tony's a little bit ahead of me. It's cool.
Bro, they just took freaking Brunson and threw him.
You've been saying that.
They just lost. It's done.
Schroeder with the 3. There it is. That's momentum right there. Less than a minute left. That's momentum. That's game. That's crazy that they held them for so long without scoring to tie it up and then go down like that.
The officiating got desperate. So bad this fucking game, bro.
Yeah, there was no need to shoot a 3 right there, Brunson. There's no need to do that. That was a bad call. So, all right. Defensive tackles. Tony, talk to me about a couple of day 2 defensive tackles that you like. I talked about Farmer already. I don't know how you feel about him. Alfred Collins, I'm looking for someone else to be a run stuffer. Now, is he going to give you that production in the backfield? Maybe not, but he is a guy that knows how to disengage when he's not going to get there and get his hands up. I think he had 5 or 6 batted passes last year. He is not, I repeat, he is not going to be a guy that's going to get to the quarterback often. You have a guy like maybe Shamar Turner. Could you see the Niners going after either one of those guys, Collins or Turner, Shamar Turner, on day 2?
I'm going to give you my honest opinion about Texas A&M. Their defensive line, I don't know what it is. There's talent across the board, but they just don't produce. They have, what's the other dude's name? Scoten, Turner, and Stewart. That defensive line, and the scary thing is, Nolan should have been a part of that defensive line. If he didn't transfer, it would have been Nolan as the 4th defensive lineman. There's no reason why that those guys shouldn't have double-digit sacks and just straight out dominated offensive lines all season. But Nolan left, and still there's just nothing. I mean, Stewart jumps off the screen. He just plays with a wild man with his hair on fire, and he just runs through, bullies people around. There's no technique. There's no secondary move as far as a pass rush. It's either bull rush or just run. That's it. He tries to beat him with brute strength. He does sometimes, and sometimes he doesn't. But what makes him What makes him good because he doesn't have success as a pass rusher is he could disengage and chase down from behind because of his speed. So I'd rather go with a more polished defensive tackle. We're not talking about first-round guys. Second-round guys, TJ Sanders from South Carolina, Darius Alexander, Tariq Williams, we talked about him from Ohio State, CJ West from Indiana, Jordan Phillips into the latter part of the draft, like day 3 guys, like deep day 3 guys. Ingram Dawkins from Georgia, Cam Hosley from Boston College. These are all like Elijah Roberts is a tweener. He kind of reminds me of like a Kerry Hyder type defensive end, like a defensive lineman that can play tackle and inside and out. He gives you that versatility. He just missed a wide open 3. So I mean, this is
wait. What? While you're looking at your book there, right? I'm curious to know what they say about Ty Robinson. I could see the Niners getting enamored with this guy, right? So in 2023, he only had 1 sack. He had 3 batted passes and 29 tackles. But then in 2024, he had 7 sacks, right? And it was like, did he take a big step forward? He only had 37 tackles, right? But if you look at the difference in those numbers, those 6 more sacks, that equates to the total tackles he's got there, right? What do they say? I could see a team being enamored with this young man and maybe going for him, maybe not round 3, but right like round 4, maybe round 5.
Oh,
well,
I have him as a day 3 pick.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Round 4, maybe round 5. What do you think on him? What does the book say on him?
I'm not even looking at my book. This is my cheat sheet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But he's 6'5", 285. I think he is off the top of my head. Strong.
Yeah, 6'5", 288. Yeah.
Nebraska dudes that strong as hell dude, powerful with his hands. Shows the ability to stack and shed. Shows the ability to chase down a little bit. Little stiff coming out of the stance. Sometimes you'll see his pad level go up, but he's just like one of those like blue collar workers. He kind of reminds me of like a Justin Smith style like mentality, not skill set, but like that blue collar, fight you through the whistle, stuff like that.
The tenacity. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good word to use. It's a proper word to use. But that's what I see with him. Again, I'm reiterating this. It's not his skill set that equals Justin Smith, but just the mentality and how he plays and tenacity, like you said. He's an interesting guy. I have him probably like round 5, maybe 6, day 3. Because this defensive tackle class is really, really, really deep. I mean, you're talking like you could pick somebody up as an undrafted free agent and strike gold with them.
Okay. All right. Listen, man, I'm sorry for your loss, Tony. I know that the Knicks just fell 196. It was a hell of a rally. They came back pretty good, but not quite enough. We'll have to see how this thing goes, man. Tony, this is going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm getting more and more excited as we ramp up. Mac has a question here for you. He just says, CJ West. What are your thoughts on CJ West, Tony?
Love him. I love him. I think if the Niners go defensive end and defensive tackle, he would be the 3rd defensive tackle. I'd pair somebody up with him.
He's got 42 tackles with 2 sacks. What is there to love about him?
Run stuffer. Watch the East-West Shrine game. Plays with power. His hands are strong. Stack, shed, gets in the backfield. His tackle for a loss. Let's see. I don't know if this book has him in here.
They say great hands, like you said, and he fires off the ball without hesitation. Strong build. He's short, 6'1", and still 316. So that sounds like he's a good run stopper. And guess who he had one of his best games against? You guessed it, Ohio State.
You know, they don't even have him in this book. Now, here you really want a dark horse. Now, here's a dark horse situation, right? Let's say the Niners get an offer. They'll move from 11 to 21 because Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers love Shedeur Sanders. Aaron Rodgers blows them off. They need a quarterback to start developing. Fine. They make the trade. Now you're sitting at 21. Now we could talk. We could start talking about Kenneth Grant. at 21. You could start talking about him at 21. Now, what you would do is you would take somebody like a Kenneth Grant, then you would double down in round possibly 3, maybe 4. I don't think 4, but as I would say 3. And then you bring in somebody like an Aeneas Pebbles from Virginia Tech, who's 6'2", 290, but has an elite first step. He's your pass rusher. He's your penetrator. I understand he only has 3 sacks, but if you have the ability to pair with somebody like Grant and Pebbles, they would have to play off each other. And with this, now everything's a projection because none of these guys stand out with sack totals. You got guys being because they ran the wind underwear Olympics good. Because they ran the underwear Olympics good and they set times great. That's great, fine. But there's not a lot of guys with a high sack totals, other than the kid from Marshall had 17. The kid from Boston College had 15 and a half or 16 and a half. Those are like true 34 outside linebackers or 4-3 situational edge rushers. Pin your ears back, drive upfield, and get to the quarterback. So if the Niners could somehow get an edge or even a situation where they go edge at 11, they go DT at 43, and then you pair that DT with Pebbles in round 3 or round 4, there's ways you could solidify this offensive line. Staying at 11, moving back from 20, moving back to 21 with Pittsburgh or with Denver. There's ways you could do it. Because the way you can get away with it is because the defensive tackle group is so deep. You can go. I'm telling you. I told you this before. You didn't think I was right about it, but you can go into round 6 and 7 and find a contributor at defensive tackle. That's how deep.
Well, I mean, you're gonna get a contributor, yeah, for sure. I guess it's just a matter of how good they are. Like, what round do you think Harmon is going to go in from Oregon? Right? Like, I think
he's the end of round 1.
No, really? Derek Harmon's going to go that high?
I think so.
Is it because of the sack total?
I like
his size, a 6'4", 313. Right? He's got a good size there, and he finished last year with 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Pretty decent defender. So all right. Okay. All right. I'm not going to argue against it. I don't know if he's going to go round 1, but that's pretty cool. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. And I can't wait to get into it. Tony, was there anything else you want to touch on before we wrap up tonight's episode? We wanted to come and have a fun time, not here for a long time tonight. And I think we did that, man. This was a lot of fun. We had a tiny little debate. We had a little bit of back and forth on Graham versus Grant. That's always fun. So, what else do you want to leave the people with? Anybody you want to discuss?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's getting here. It's crunch time. It's getting close. I can't wait for it. I got one more day of work. And we'll be rocking out with the draft. Hopefully we can get – I'm nowhere near a board being set. I'm still debating whether I want to do it with marker or get like a label printer.
You may be in the room when I'm doing my other show on Thursday, so it's gonna be very interesting. It'll be live on Patreon and live on a certain YouTube channel, but nothing but Niners. So it's gonna be fun. You guys are gonna have to check out the Patreon to find out what that show is gonna be all about. And it could be some arguing. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Could be some fireworks. And, again, not 49ers related, but I will be bringing it to you guys on Patreon. So please make sure you guys are locked in and check that one out. All right. Tony, listen, man, I have nothing else. We're going to get to what we got to get to. We're going to have some fun while we're doing it. And we're going to relax, man. Look, here's what we do know, guys. We, the viewers, we, the content creators, we, the watchers of it all, have zero control. Everything is reactionary. We're going to have to see how the board falls and see the best available players. When it's really going to turn up is at the 8th pick, right after the 8th pick is turned in, and the Niners are going to be on the board in 2 more picks, right? It's like, look at the prospects that are left. Where do you want to go? That's when the arguing starts. That's when the popcorn needs to come out. How many quarterbacks do you think go in the top 10, Tony? Give me that answer, and then I'm shutting up.
One.
Ooh. Okay.
I think. I don't know. Because the Giants are the wild card.
Obviously.
I don't know.
The Giants went and got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
They're both 1-year deals.
But that says that they probably are going to draft a quarterback. Yeah, so I'm with Steven Rodriguez. I think 2 maybe, right?
I don't know.
The Patreon show is going to be before the draft, like midday, maybe like 3, 4 o'clock. Maybe 3 or 4 o'clock. And then we might do another Patreon show while Tony and I are setting up the draft board. All right, so you guys got to make sure you're locked in. Again, guys, I can't say it enough. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. Have those notifications turned on. I wanted to continue to do a series of breakdowns, but I didn't get any responses from it. So I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to waste my time doing it. But I broke down one position group that I thought the Niners should be looking at, and I was going to do it for other position groups, but I didn't get a good enough response, any responses. So I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to leave it. Let it go. So we'll see. We'll see, though. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. That is where you guys are going to want to be. Don't miss it. Tune in, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. All right. Tony, you ready to go home, man? I'm ready.
Yes, sir.
Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always
remain faithful.
We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we hot.
Wait. Sin asked a really good question here, and I want to be clear. Every year, every draft, we are live on YouTube. There will be a Patreon link, but you guys don't have to go to Patreon to get it. It's going to be on YouTube live. 6, 7, 8 hours of coverage. I believe day 1 and day 2, it's 6 hours and then 8 hours for the live draft. And then we're going to do an after draft one and all that stuff. I mean, Tony and I are going to take full advantage of being in each other's company. We're going to be in zombie mode. And I don't know about Tony, but I got to work the next day. So it's going to be crazy. But I can't wait. So I'm locked in. It's going to be a really, really fun one. So I just wanted to be clear here. That is a very, very good question for those who are watching. The draft show will be on both Patreon and YouTube. No subscription necessary. All right. We'll see y'all soon. Wayne, take us home.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. Nothing but Niners.